How you doing, guys? Yeah, on the road, driving to a brewery, nonetheless. Actually taking a ride up to Middletown, New York today to hit up Equilibrium Brewing. I have not been there. God, I don't remember. Actually, the last time I might have been at Equilibrium was when I returned a keg for my wedding. That was after I came back from Vermont, so early June. They're not too far away from me. Just about an hour. The good thing about Equilibrium is they do releases, but they do them very early. Typically, the releases are around like 11:30, and they're usually a good time too. They have a really killer line share, the whole nine. Just kind of, usually it's me and the present wife, not the future wife, because she's my present wife now. Usually it's me and her out and about doing things and such, but she's feeling a little bit under the weather, nothing too bad, and took care of her before I left, so I'm not that cold. But figured I just want to take a ride today, and it's all back roads to Equilibrium, middle of nowhere. I just got a new car, relatively new. I got it in June, so I just felt like ripping and tearing on some back roads, and I'm driving along, and I have this kind of like lavalier mic I keep in my console. I'm just like, in case I'm out and about, I'm like, man, you're gonna be driving for an hour, might as well do a video. So here we are. It's going to be like a jumbled thing. It's going to be a little bit of channel update. There's going to be a little bit of the discussion kind of editorial thing. We're going to mash it all up. Just going to randomly shoot from the hip. Like I said, ill-prepared. I didn't prepare at all for anything. So yeah, I'm just going to talk. And here we go. First things first, channel's going awesome. You guys are awesome. From a viewership standpoint to a subscription standpoint to an engagement standpoint, it's all pretty fucking fantastic. There's such an awesome crew of people out there just commenting and reaching out and talking about beer, and it's pretty much the whole reason why I do it, other than I like beer, obviously. So that's pretty freaking awesome. You know what I mean? I think I'm right around like 5,300 subscriptions and counting. It's kind of going up periodically here and there. So that's pretty cool. Beer mails. Insane, man. I've been getting an insane amount of beer mails from all over, which is pretty freaking awesome. A lot of them are mystery beers, which is like, that's my jam. I've been getting a lot of mystery beers in the mail. I need those to kind of keep the mystery beers going because there's no way I can do them for myself. So it's cool to see those coming in. I'm getting them from all over the place, from in-state here in Jersey to up north to Connecticut way, down south, New Hampshire up there. I believe I just got one from, getting some from like Louisiana and down at the Carolinas and out in Vegas way and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty awesome. I mean, I can't thank you guys enough for actually doing that. You know what I mean? Reaching out, sending beers, especially the mystery beers, because like I said, there's no way I can do it without you guys. So that's pretty freaking awesome. On the mystery beers, I really like where the mystery beer thing is going. I decided about a month or so ago, maybe even a little bit longer actually, to send out a box of mystery beers to 3 random beer tubers. I sent, just packaged them up, didn't really tell them what I was doing. I just said, hey man, I need your address, which is kind of creepy if you think about it. But I decided to send some out to 3 guys. I wrapped up 3 beers apiece. I sent one to Joe from Joe's Arcade. I sent one to Joe from the Beer Patrol up there at Boston Way. And I sent one to Kyle of Nahoy Beer Reviews. And with a note in it, basically stating, hey, here's some mystery beers. Have at it. Have fun. Only thing I ask is that you not send me beer back, you send mystery beer forward. Basically send some mystery beers to somebody else, beer tubing, whatever, to cover it and go over it. And everybody has fulfilled that. I mean, Joe from Joe's Arcade sent one back to me, which is totally cool. I said beer it forward to somebody else who does beer reviews. I said, you don't have to send me beer, but he sent it to me, but that's perfectly cool. I will then beer it forward. I have somebody in mind who I'm going to send it to already. That one's a little bit more logistically challenging, but anyway. And then Kyle actually sent his off super fast to the guys from Nerd Sense, and to Brad Allison, I think is his name. He sent them to them. I believe those guys are in the process of sending stuff out. I know Joe from Beer Patrol is in the process of sending his out, and I'm going to beer mine forward. So it's kind of cool to see that happen. And there's a kind of a little bit of a ripple effect with it too, which is over in the UK. You had Rob from Hopzine ended up kind of taking up the mantle and kind of starting that process over there in the UK to send some of the guys up there. There's him and slips my freaking mind who the guy he sent his to. They kind of sent stuff back and forth to each other.
Turn left after a quarter of a mile onto the New Jersey 284.
There you go. Yeah, he sent those back and forth to each other to kind of start the process over there in the UK. So it's kind of cool to see that kind of taking hold. See people kind of into it, I guess you'd say. And yeah, kind of tickles me pink, to be perfectly honest with you. Let's see here. I actually have no idea where I'm going. I'm actually making a wrong turn as we speak. Let's see if it'll correct me. Yes, it will.
Please turn right after 400 feet onto Newton Avenue and then turn right again.
This is the...
now turn right and then turn right again.
This is the logistics of, I guess, of recording in the car. This is my first... I've recorded in the car before. What am I saying? But this is the first time I've kind of done the setup in my new car here.
Now turn right.
Actually, I've been up here before, so I know kind of where I'm going. Anyway, so it was cool to see those guys over in the UK kind of take that up and see the mystery beer thing grow, because I like it. I have a blast with it. You guys know that. You watch me do the mystery beers all the time.
Please turn left after 400 feet onto the New Jersey 23 and then turn left again.
And
now take the second left and then turn left again.
She just, oh man, sometimes, you know, you just want them to be quiet. Oh, it says I can't take a left here. Why is it telling me to do this then? Okay, let's do this. Anyway, very entertaining.
Please follow the road for 700 feet.
Losing my train of thought. Anyway, so, wow, this is making me go in some weird direction. I know this is not entertaining, but I'm kind of feel like really, this is the first time I'm using my navigation in my car. I pretty much use my iPhone exclusively for navigation, especially with CarPlay and all that kind of stuff. Pretty much use it exclusively for that, but since I wanted to record a video, I was like, oh, I'll give my navigation a whirl. And it's just not the same. It doesn't give you the same kind of preview. I guess it does right here, actually. It's weird to have two screens in the car. I ended up getting a 2017 Volkswagen Autobahn. I'm a Volkswagen guy. I've always had a GTI. My old one blew up, so you learn something new. 16 miles. It should be good for the rest of this video. You know me. I don't shut up, so maybe it's not even going to be long enough. Anyway, so it's cool to see the UK guys take that up and kind of have that going, and just to see it going in general. Like I said, I love the mystery beers. I think they're awesome. Some people, you know, like when I send them to Joe's Arcade, he's like, you know, he's very self-deprecating when it comes to the comments about it. He's like, I'm going to screw this up. I'm going to screw this up. Very worried about getting it right. And that wasn't the reason. It wasn't like, hey, let's send the beers out and see, you know, who's going to look like an idiot. You know what I mean? It's more trying to spread the fun of it. And he ended up having a blast with it. So it's cool to kind of see that going out there. Yeah, besides that, you know, shit's going crazy, you know, podcast is going insane, beer stuff is going insane. I've actually been traveling a little bit more beer-wise. I kind of cooled it for a bit, and, you know, was just kind of just mulling around my area, but been kind of driving around. It's nice, it's fall, I got a new car, so I've been popping around to breweries here and there. But to bring it back full circle, you guys' comments, I've been getting a lot of, like a couple specific comments that I wanted to kind of address, I guess you'd say. And a couple of them are, I've been getting some people kind of talking about my video time and how long my videos are. I don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? Like, I just, honestly, like, people are like, oh, you know, you need to keep them shorter. You're rambling. You're talking. You know what? I just don't care. You know what I mean? It's my thing. If you don't want to watch it, that's fine. But I'm just never not going to ramble. It's just kind of part and parcel of who I am. So I understand that some people use it as a kind of, as a guide to find out what they want to drink and what they're looking for. But those reviews that tend to keep stuff in that kind of concise 2 to 3 minute range are very kind of, you know, old school kind of, you know, static, what's the word I'm looking for, cold kind of grading system. Not that grading system's bad, I just don't do it. I did it when I first started because I didn't know any better, but it's very kind of like a 96 this and 93 that, and it's just arbitrary, man. It just doesn't even make sense, because half the time you see these people throw numbers out there, I was like, I don't know, 90 whatever. it just doesn't make any sense to me. And to me, beer is a little bit more kind of, I don't know, has a flow to it, an art to it. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like if you're going to listen to a song, you know, if you're going to count tempo and listen for errors and do those kind of things, it kind of takes away from the kind of prettiness and the beauty of a beer, or the shit-tastic craptasticness of a horrible made beer. And it's just not for me. You know what I mean? So my videos are probably never going to get any shorter. I try, actually, to keep them relatively short, try to keep them on track, but never going to happen. So, and to touch on something I just said, craptastic beer, that's a comment I've been getting actually quite a bit, and I kind of wanted to talk about real quick. I feel like one of the biggest problems in beer today is, and I've talked about this before, other people have talked about it before, it's not an original concept, but I don't think a lot of people know the difference, or choose not to understand the difference, maybe that's the better way to put it, between a bad beer and a beer they don't like. And it seems like a lot of people are kind of towing the line, or just being one way or the other. You know, a lot of people, you know, I had somebody comment, not to pick on a comment specific, I'm not going to name them, but someone that was talking about, I did a review of Founders, is it Older Curmudgeon, something like that. It was basically their barrel-aged old ale, aged in molasses barrels. It was, yeah, it's Old Curmudgeon. Anyway, you know what beer I'm talking about. And the person went in and they were like, oh my God, this beer is just straight up maple syrup, which is weird because I didn't really get much maple from it, and I know a lot of people haven't, but the person was like, this is literally just sugar maple syrup. It's crazy. Why do Founders do these things? And he ended it with, is such a bad beer. And I commented on it and saying, well, it's not a bad beer. It's not a beer for you, maybe. Not a beer you like, but it's not a bad beer. It's not made badly. So, like, if they commented, I'm like, oh, yeah, you know, I get that. But that seems to be a very kind of a common theme throughout a lot of the reviews and the comments that I see, would be like, oh, this beer is bad, but only because they don't like said beer. And I think there needs to be, not that I think everybody out there should be out there doing kind of crazy education stuff and trying to figure out, you know, the each little nuance of off flavor and all that kind of stuff, but to understand the difference between a good beer and a beer you don't like. You see a lot of brewers. I've heard a lot of brewers. I've talked to a lot of brewers who have complained about people, you know, you hear a lot about it on Untappd going, you know, someone starting off an Untappd review going 1 star and be like, I hate sours and this sour sucks. And be like, well, if you hate sours, why are you giving it a 1 star, or why are you drinking it at all? Now, that, and this is what brewers have said. Now, I think some people should always keep drinking the things they don't like. I think, you know, there were some styles I didn't like when I first started getting into beer that I've grown into. So, you know, your taste buds are going to change, your palate's going to mature. You're going to get, you know, eventually evolve into loving, you know, different kinds of beer, unless it's a Rauch beer. Those all suck. It's a joke, by the way. So you should keep trying stuff, but also, you know, be self-aware enough to know that you don't like it. Therefore, that doesn't mean it's a badly made beer. It's just not a beer for you, and that's you know, that's the kind of the big thing that a lot of people just for some reason can't really put 2 and 2 together on that. And I feel like it's something that, again, like I said, not like you have to go for infinite training, but just kind of become self-aware enough to step back, try a beer, taste a beer, and understand, okay, the difference between, is this a bad beer or do I just not like it, you know? So that's one of the other comments that's been kind of piling up, I guess you would say, and something I've seen more often than not. Other than that, I mean, comment-wise, the one weird thing I've been having to deal with a lot is old comments. I always found this kind of weird when it comes to kind of BeerTube, is that someone will comment on a video I posted 4 years ago and be like, make a comment about the beer as if I reviewed it yesterday, you know, like, oh, they ended up doing this, or this brewery sold out, so they suck, and be like, I don't understand why you're giving this high mark because they're owned by AB InBev, and be like, dude, I reviewed this like a year and a half, 2 years before they were bought out, or stuff like that. I always found that weird kind of thing that people don't check dates. I mean, on beer or videos, I guess you'd say. Either way. But yeah, I think that's it. Yeah. 15-minute rambling video of thank yous and mystery beer goodness and me kind of just craft beer and wine garden. I've never seen that place before. I might have to stop on the way back. It looked cheesy though, kind of like Pinteresty. And I used that word in a review actually about a brewery I posted the other day. And the owners reached out to me in a very cool way, very respectful. They're like, oh, blah, 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 we're husband and wife thing. And it was very, very cool what they said. So I'm not trying to kind of bash on them, but I kind of dropped the Pinteresty moniker on their brewery saying, oh, it feels kind of Pinteresty in here, and how it's done, like kind of live, laugh, love kind of stuff going on. They're like that. The wife and contacted me, and then the husband contacted me. He's like, you used the word Pinteresty around the brewery now, so I don't know if it's a good or bad thing. But anyway, so yeah, a little update, a little bit of rambling, a little bit of comment critiquing, I guess you'd say. Just felt like making a video. I had the time. I was driving. Had a couple words to say, so hopefully you guys enjoy this. A couple closing things. Podcast. I've been taking a break on a podcast because it's been getting really fucking hard. My work is insane busy. I have not had the time to travel as much. I've kind of slowed the podcast down to about every other week instead of every week. But what do you guys want to see on the podcast? I mean, you can ask for stuff you want to see here in YouTube, but I'm speaking or curious about more stuff on the podcast. Do you want to, if you do listen, let me know. That would be pretty awesome. Google or YouTube, no, reverse that. iTunes analytics are literally zilch. You don't really know much as far as what you got to get a little bit from the host that hosts my podcast. But other than that, I really don't know. So if you guys out there listen to the podcast, let me know when you're listening to. Rate that shit 5 stars and all that stuff. Go do that now. Pause the video. Go on iTunes and Stitchers and all that stuff and give me 5 stars and leave a comment too. I'll wait for you. Okay. Hopefully you did it that fast. And but also let me know what you want to hear. Do you want to hear more roundtable stuff? Do you want to hear specific stuff from specific breweries? Do you want me to go to I mean, obviously I'm not going to drive to West Vedelin or fucking someplace in Australia, but if there's somewhere reasonable around my area that I can get to, do you want to hear something from them? Do you want to hear more like industry folk, like I did an interview with John Hall from Beer and Brewing Magazine, and he's an author too, just put out a book. Do you want to hear more industry stuff? What do you guys want to see? Because I don't mind providing it. Obviously I love driving. I'm taking the back roads to a brewery an hour or so away. So yeah, let me know, guys. Let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know what you guys want to hear. Let me know what you guys think. And yeah, keep watching. Keep sending those goddamn mystery beers. I need them. And yeah, hopefully see you next time. Cheers.